right, good evening. Welcome to Conversations with Segun. Today on the show is going to be a fantastic time. First of all, let me welcome everyone who is watching. I've not seen anyone yet, but let me welcome those who will watch now or who will watch later. Welcome to the Conversations with Segun. This is what we do every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. where we talk to high net worth individuals on conversations we need to have around burning issues, especially as it relates to business. Tonight, we have a fantastic guest. But before I go to my guest, I want to see those that are watching. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know who you are. Where you are watching from, put it there. Also, if you're watching and you're here already, please do share this stream with your contacts. Just go to that button right there, click it, share it to all your friends and loved ones. Let them know that we are live here tonight. My guest is the very exceptional Bishop Feb Idahosa. For those of us who don't already know him, you would know him tonight. You will have the opportunity to chat with him. You have the opportunity to ask him questions around businesses and how to do business in critical times, especially in the times that we're in. He's already here. He's in the studio. He's in the green room, seated and waiting for you to come. I want to see those that are here already. If you're already here, please put the comments in the comment section. This is not a fluke. The Bishop Feb Idahosa is here. I can tell you that he's here. I'm excited. You can see the excitement in my face. Tuesday night like this, high net worth individuals come here to throw down, and you get the opportunity to ask them questions that you may never get to ask them on other places. But in Conversations with Segun, we'll have that conversation. If you're watching, I see some of you watching already. Please put the comments in the comment section. I want to know those that are here and that are good to go. Favor Ogenegoma, my brother, says, I'm live. I'm here with Conversations with Segun. Welcome, my brother. How are you today? We're here. Bishop Feb is already here. He's in the green room, seated, boiling. He's ready to go. But we need you to share this to your stream. Favor, you're here already. Share this with your stream. Share it, share it. Timothy says, we are waiting. Bring him on. Yes, he's here. He's here. You don't need to wait too long. But what you need to do is to go share this to your contacts, share this to your friends. I want to have 10 people watching right now. Let me see them. Let me know that they are here and that they are ready to go. I'm seeing the numbers. They're coming up. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. Share to your groups, to your everywhere that you belong. Share. Let the people know. Dennis Okpokwo from Asaba says, I'm here from Asaba. Fantastic. Fantastic. Asaba is represented in the building, the state capital. We got news that our governor is fit now. He's COVID-19 negative himself and his family. They are free and they are fit. We thank God for that. That's a good one. Bishop FEB is here. He's going to talk to us about COVID issues and all of that. But I want to see the numbers go up. Dennis, Favor, and team, share this. Okay, you say you started the watch party already. Fantastic. But also share it, because if you start the watch party, we can't see the comments of the people in the watch party. But if you share it, we can see their comments right here, and we can bring them on. So go share it to your groups, share it to your everything, everywhere shareable. Share it. All right. So my guest tonight, if you check his resume, if you check the post I did, my guest tonight, if I start reading his resume, then we will not do any other thing. In the 30 minutes of this program, we'll do that. Alex Osage from BIU says hi, is here. Yes. I know that Alex works with BIU, works with the Bishop. Great evening, Alex. Welcome. How are you today? The Bishop is here already. He's in the green room. So I was saying that the Bishop, if I start reading his resume, we won't end. But what I would tell you is that he's the president of the Benson Idahosa University. And we already know what the Benson Idahosa University, if you hear the Benson Idahosa, you know that name. Is a name that has changed lives across Africa. This is a direct descendant. The man we have in the studio today is a direct descendant of Benson Idahosa, and he's coming here to share with us some business tips. People don't know this business side of him, but today he's going to be shared. He hosts the Marketplace with Feb. It's a radio and a TV program. He hosts that. And so he does a lot of business discussions and business stuff. He also chairs various companies. I'm not going to go into that in our description. You can find out that details. But I'm going to bring the bishop, because we already have 11 persons watching now. I'm going to bring the bishop into the studio. Bishop Feb Idahosa, the husband of Lori Idahosa and father of 3 wonderful boys, and the president of Benson Idahosa University, right into this. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the bishop into the studio. Bishop, welcome, sir.
Thank you. So glad to be here tonight. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to have royalty in the house tonight, because this is royalty.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for honoring us with your presence. I'll go quickly. How does it feel to be the son of the very revered Archbishop Benson Idahosa?
I don't know. That one, I get that question all the time, but I think it feels the same to be a son of any other person, I think, at least in my opinion. I think it's a privilege to be the son of Archbishop Benson Idahosa, because he's a man that's made such great strides in this nation and did so much for Christianity in Nigeria. So it's always a pleasure and an honor to be associated with that name. So it's definitely something that I take very, very seriously. I'm very proud of it.
Fantastic. And we are also excited to see that someone like you is one who is preserving and, extending that name to many who didn't get to meet your father, who just heard the story, read books, and heard there was this one great man, sees that man, in Feb Idahosa and says, oh, fantastic. I've heard this man's story. This is an exact replication. And we are so excited about it. Tell us one business part we didn't know about the Archbishop.
One business part. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of him. Because he started so many. He was what I call a social entrepreneur. So everything he was doing was for social purposes. So he started a hospital, and hospital has been around now for 35 years, almost 40 years, and it's still going. So that's something they started as a social enterprise to help take care of the sick, people who needed health care. But at the same time, too, the business part of it has been thriving now for almost 40 years. So that's one there. His Bible school is over 42 years old. That began in late 60s, and that's still going till this day. So I mean, these are just things that he started, and each one, by God's grace, has survived and continue to thrive. It's been for 22 years. And God's still giving us strength to keep everything going. So yes, I'm excited.
Fantastic. In his time, most of the things that he started, they didn't have examples to follow. He was actually a pioneer. He was a pioneer. When churches then.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay, no, I said absolutely. The university, the last thing he began before he passed away was our university. And when God spoke to him about the idea of starting a university, private universities in Nigeria were not legal. Private universities were actually illegal. They were against the law. And that was in 1978. God spoke to him with the idea. And within about a week or two, when God spoke to him the idea, he went and bought the property, bought the land, started working towards it, and said, okay, God has said that I'm going to make it happen. So that's something that there was no example to follow for a private university. But he knew that God had spoken to him. So he said, okay, he's going to start it. And then he talked to the government. The government said it's illegal, it's not possible. Started lobbying them, said, no, we'll make this happen. And over time, it started, and here we are today. It's working. So that's working. Yeah, so it's the same thing.
So it brings us to the topic that we are going to talk about today, doing business in critical times. Your father started the university when it was illegal to start a private university.
Right.
Today, doing business in this era is really critical. So for most business people, because of the COVID that wasn't planned for, a lot of things are happening. Businesses are going down. Businesses are streamlining. We hear corporations now are dropping staff, trying to reposition themselves to still maintain their lead in their different markets.
Right.
First of all, before I go into all of this, is how did the COVID affect you? First, let's hear from you. How did the COVID affect you?
Well, okay, so for me, COVID, I think, was a blessing, actually, because it forced everybody to slow down. Everyone had all these different plans. When the year began, we're saying, okay, this is my year, 2020. I will do this, that. Everything was just like bam, bam, bam. January was going, we're jumping, February, March. Then suddenly March came and everything just boom. It's like you hit a brick wall and just slowed down. But I mean, the good thing, I think, was that it made everybody slow down and start thinking about, okay, what's really important, what's really critical, what's really essential in what you're doing. And so for me, I think it forced us to slow down, and we had to reevaluate everything we're doing business-wise. So all the businesses that we have, we're looking at each one again and saying, okay, what works, what's not working, what do we need to reevaluate, what do we need to restart, what do we need to rethink. And so that's the thing that people have to start thinking about, is when you look at what COVID has done, it forced everyone to slow down, find out what's really important, and then look at what's important and then work backwards from there. And so, okay, do I need to change this? Do I need to change that? And as you look at that, then you have to readjust. You know, that's something that I talk about a lot in business now, is you have to start thinking when you come to a time like this and things have slowed down, you have to do two things. You have to rethink. You have to re-strategize. Then you also have to re-evaluate. So as you do those kinds of things, then that's when you begin to think, okay, what do I need to do? How do I change things? And when you get to that point, it lets you say, okay, what exactly is essential and what isn't? And that's how you start.
Fantastic. There's something you mentioned that was very key for me when you were talking just now. It's about, I've heard some of my other guests talk about how you perceive stuff and how you see stuff. For you, you just said COVID has been a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
I've had many other guests who said COVID has been a blessing. But there are people
really?
who are saying that, this COVID-19, this is the worst thing that has happened. So talk to us about how you perception, because they say perception is reality, how people perceive things. I just give a typical example of this program now.
Right.
I've been looking forward to having you on my regular TV program, but the thing hasn't clicked. We talked about it. We've said, okay, when you're in town, when it works, we will have it. But, when COVID started, everybody was looking for something to do differently. Everybody was looking to pivot and change their direction, to still move to get to where they're going. And I was looking for this. I saw someone else using this platform. I was looking for it until I found it. When I found it, I said, yes, this is what this guy is using. I need to get it. I need to, for now, the episodes of my program I've hosted are more than what I've hosted altogether when I was doing it live. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I actually started another program just by using this. So how I saw the situation was what helped me to say, look, let me pick up something and make it work. Talk to us about perception being a reality.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because see, when things happen to you, you can either choose to see it through the lens of how it's affecting you or how you want to affect it. One of the things that my father talked to us about, saying you have to choose your response. You have to choose it. And so people say, look, either life happens to you or you happen to life. And I have to decide, okay, you know what? Everybody's just going around with life happening to them. Life happens to them, and they're trying to react, and you have to just decide, okay, look, I'm going to happen to life. Okay, I'm going to choose what I want to do. So this show, for example, now, we could be waiting and trying to get on TV, trying to get people to do all the things that you need to do. And TV station will come and they'll make shakara for you. They'll tell you, yeah, I want to do this, do that, do that. But now, everybody carries a TV in their hand. So here we are now. And so you have to everybody can be a broadcast studio. Everybody can be and start to do their own things. So suddenly you realize, okay, wait a second. If I'm going to wait for everything to fall into place exactly, or I can choose to put things into the place that I want them to be. And I can pursue my audience, pursue who I want to do. And then suddenly now you have your audience and they have TVs in their hand. Because see, TV right now is now on demand. I don't remember the last time that we used to try to rush home by 5 o'clock so we can watch this program, or rush home by 9 so you can watch this program. Because now it's online, it's online. So whenever you get home, just turn it on right here. You can watch it. You can be in traffic and you can watch it. So everything's out. We live in an on-demand world. And so that on-demand world now lets you think, okay, how do I then perceive things? How do I want to make things happen? So that's how you choose what's going to happen to you. And so then my thought then is this, I talk to people, I say, look, you have to choose what's going to happen to you. You have to prepare right now to change and to evolve. What was working before was great, but we're not going to go back to normal. We're going to now go forward. Okay. So the first question to ask is not when will things go back to normal, but should be what will I learn from this and go forward? So once you understand that question, then now begin to say, okay, look, how do we go forward with what we have learned? How do we go forward and ahead with what we have learned? We have to change, we have to evolve. So it's like a butterfly. A butterfly is a caterpillar. And when that caterpillar begins as a caterpillar, when the caterpillar is first in the cocoon, everything's there. But it realizes that if it's going to get to the full freedom of expression where it can fly, become all that it was created to be for a short life, it has to go into a cocoon, it has to change, it has to evolve. Or else it will spend all of its life on the ground and never come to the full fruition of what's supposed to be. So anything that stops us, that makes us realize that we have to stop and then reevaluate, that thing is a good thing, okay? Because that thing gives you a chance then to change and to evolve. So the caterpillar, for example, now, we just crawl on the ground, maybe climb a tree or two, eat leaves for its whole life. But when the evolution starts to happen for that metamorphosis, where it changes to become a butterfly, when that happens, everything stops dead. It has to sit still inside a cocoon for a period of time. And that period of time in that cocoon is what causes it to change and evolve. I'm trying to think, I have a picture over here. I have a picture over here. I don't know if you can see the picture there. But for the butterfly to do that, it has to do that. And so if it doesn't do that, it will never become the full expression, of what it can be. So that's how we have to get to the point. Let me try and get so
yes,
clear.
Yeah, we can see that.
So you have to think along those lines. You can either stay as a butterfly, as caterpillar for the rest of your life, or you can get ready to evolve and become what you are fully created to be. That is the biggest thing for me.
Fantastic, Bishop. Fantastic. I was going to ask you something. Somebody's comment that came on now. I just want to put it so that we see it again. He said, normal isn't going back.
Right.
Normal isn't going forward.
I hear you. I love that one.
We should tweak it a bit. Normal isn't going back. The new normal is going forward.
It's going forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. We need to go and teach that.
Oh, that's from you. We're gonna make a flyer from it. And we'll
that's a good one.
Don't worry, you get to see that. But I want to look at this. I want to look at this with the advent of the internet and how it has helped us now. The internet has removed all the gatekeepers. If I was going to have this TV program, I was going to have a producer. I was going to have at least a cameraman, at least, or sometimes maybe 3 of them. I was going to have a sound guy. I was going to have 3 cameras in the studio with at least 2 cameramen managing them. I was going to be concerned about your logistics from Benin into Warri, where I am.
True.
We're going to bother about the timing of the event you are coming for, and how we would sneak out the 30 minutes to get this program done.
True.
We're gonna bother if the studio was available, and a whole lot of other issues. That we have to get all in tandem and in line before we get you to come and get this program and record it and get an editor to edit it and fix it properly in the time the slot that it will show on TV, and wonder if we'll get enough sponsors to sponsor the program to show on TV.
Right, that's true.
But with 1,000 naira data and my laptop and all that has been cut off. Those gatekeepers has been removed. So I just use this as an analogy. In many other fields, in many other businesses, in this critical time, the internet has removed the gatekeepers. How has the internet, and my question to you, sir, how would the internet help people in this critical time to do business? I know that some businesses can move online, but not all can move online. So what can people do?
Okay, I mean, you just talked about removing gatekeepers. So that's the first one. Gatekeepers are no longer there anymore. No one is going to hold over your head and say you must do this, 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 and this, because anybody now can actually go online and do anything. So whatever dream you had in terms of wanting to start something, you absolutely can. That's the first one. You just share that one online, so I won't go back there again. But let's talk about now when it comes to business. See, the thing about this, Jim Collins in one of his books called Good to Great said this. He says technology is not what will change everything, okay? Technology is an enabler. It's not going to actually make your business, it won't make your business suddenly become the greatest business in the world. But if you know how to leverage technology, you can make your business the best in the world. So you don't have to be an internet business, but you have to be a business who is able to use the internet. So let me give you an example, for example. So let's say you sell food. Food is critical. Everybody needs food. Everybody has to eat. They eat every single day. Now, if you had a restaurant or a buka or something before, and that place is all the way in the middle of Jakbawi Road or something like that, okay? Now, because people want to come there, that's great. But you see, now that we have the internet, you can actually post your pictures online. You can tell people, look, if you have something you want to do, simply just let me know. I will I put it on my Instagram page, on Facebook, on somewhere. People go there and say, okay, I'd like to do this. They can order it while you're at home. You can make it. You can use the same phone now to call a keke guy or one of these other, maybe Uber or whatever you want to do. Somebody will come and pick it up from you. Take it to the person's house. You can pay without actually seeing me, because now you can do online banking. So technology has made everything easier and can make things work because we have technology. Now, that's like I was saying, if your food is terrible, it's not going to, technology will not save your food, will not save your business. But if you have good food and you can take advantage of technology, it can help your business. So that's what I think people have to understand with this thing. Technology is an enabler. It makes things easier, makes things work. Now, I'll talk to you a little bit about how we can actually take one step back from your business and use technology to make it work. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I heard what you said there. You said it doesn't have to be an internet business, but it has to be a business that can be supported by the internet.
Right.
And every business can be supported by the internet. Once you need customers, it can be supported by the internet. So even if you are a teacher, you are selling crayfish, you are selling fresh fish, whatever it is. So as far as you have people who would eat, who would buy, who need that thing that you're selling, then it can be on the internet. It doesn't have to. Thank you very much, Bishop, for that. This next comment is going to push me to my next question. He said, "Good evening to the Bishop of the Nigerian youths."
Hey, TK Carlo, I love him. I think I might go and steal that comment. I might go and steal it.
I'm telling you. So you work a lot with young people. I know a lot of young people you have worked with. Many people don't know, but you're very much around John Obidi. You're very much around Alex Osage. Yes, you're very much around Rodwell, Patako Tafia. You're very much around. I know a lot of them, young people that you are working with. What do you think is that thing? I'm going to ask a Nigerian question now.
Okay.
What do we need to do as a nation to be able, just as you've been able to harness a lot of young people working with you in all your businesses and in BIU and all in general? What is that thing that makes you tick, that makes you able to harness the potentials of young people? What most people don't know also, let me just throw this in, is that you yourself and Reverend Laurie, pastors, I think is a youth branch of the Church of God.
Right. Well, very youthful. Laurie pastors a youth church, yes. I pastor the old church.
So what is it that is that thing that clicks, that makes young people get connected to you, that makes you be able to harness the young? Because our politicians and leaders generally in all sectors, religious and all, need to know that they need to know how to engage the young people, because the statistics that have been placed is that in 20
Oh, I think I lost you.
So the world is scared that if we have that youth population and they are not gainfully employed or they are not properly engaged, we'll have problems. What do they need to do that you are doing now?
Well, okay.
Can you hear me, Bishop?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Okay, so it's like the Bishop is having challenges with his network. He will come back soon. But okay, Bishop is back. Fantastic. Bishop is back. So I was saying, Bishop, that what is it that you did that leaders in different sectors and politicians need to do to young people to get them engaged, just as you have engaged young people in your organization to do great things?
Well, it's a great question. For me, what began this journey for me? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. What began the journey for me was in 1996. I heard my father make a comment one time. He said, "If you want to build tomorrow's church, you must work with today's youth." And
Bishop, say that again. Say that again.
Yeah. So in 1996, my father made a statement, and that has never left me. He said, "If you want to build tomorrow's church, you must work with today's youth." And that just blew my mind.
It means if you want to build tomorrow's Nigeria, you must engage.
Exactly.
This
exactly. So
let me build a business to be to have posterity for the future. Then it means you have to engage today's youth.
You absolutely have to.
I just wanted to emphasize that 3 times so that people will hear it.
Say it again.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Yeah, I'll say it again because see, let me tell you what happened. Just on Sunday, I was with a gentleman that I've known now for close to 30 years, and I was realizing that when we first met, we were both youth in quotes, and he was just a guy at Uniben. He was in CFI. He was in the fellowship on campus, and he was just a fellowship pastor on campus, just doing okay, doing normal things. But when my father made that statement, I said, you know what, so we started talking. And so I talked to him, talked to many other people who are pastors today. And I look at them over the last 30 years now. These young men are now the Bishop Wales of Nigeria. They are the TJ Chunu, who's watching right now. They're the ones who are here now. But this man I was talking to, he was just a campus pastor. His name is Dr. Sadlo Asemota. But today now, he's the head of the Uniben Health Center at the University of Benin. He's the head, okay? He's a zonal coordinator of our church. He coordinates the entire zone of the church. He coordinates so many things. This is just in the space of 25 years. So if you look at him then and say, look at that young, he's a youth, I better go nonsense and push them off. You would never have the chance today to see someone now who's a full-fledged doctor. Today he's 50 years old. He's a doctor. He runs the health center. He does all kinds of things. I mean, he's somebody who was a youth 25 years ago. So now he's heading all kinds of things. So if you want to build a church, look at those who are young now. If you want to build a nation, look at those who are right now looking like nothing. Nigeria today has more than 60% of our population is under the age of 30. So that's what I'm pursuing. I got to pursue them. That's why I'm on Instagram. That's why I'm online. I got to make sure we're there. And then I just love what Treasure just said right now. The Bishop of Nigerian Youth. I'm going to push that one. We're going to make sure we do that because it makes sense. Because these guys, in 20 years from now, they'll be in charge of the nation. And so those people who are right now who are fighting corruption and who are being corrupt and doing all the wrong things, they will die. I'm not wishing you bad luck, but they will eventually die. Okay, and all those who are young right now will eventually step in. So if we don't train them now, talk to them now, work with them now, they will not become what they can be. So that's why we got to work. That's my motivation.
So true. Bishop, I'm going to go back to your father because he was an exceptional, great, I don't want to say great guy, but great grandpa. But, you know, he mentioned something to you that he didn't even realize that he mentioned something that sparked something in you to say,
absolutely right.
If I have to build the next generation, I have to pay it. It brings me to the question of mentorship in business.
Right.
The guys from the East know how to mentor people, how to take them through that whole process of stay here, learn the ropes, do that. We don't have a lot of guys around the South here who are willing to, in 2 months, a job that they will learn in 6 years, in 2 months, I don't learn, I'm good to go. Talk to us about the role of mentorship in doing business in these critical times.
Well, mentorship is absolutely essential, because you see, you can't learn to climb a mountain from somebody who's on the same level as you on the ground. Okay, because if you and I are on the same level on the ground, I want to climb the mountain, I'm going to be asking you, how do we climb this mountain? You'll be telling me, hey, bros, that mountain there, if you try to climb it, I've seen about 5 people fall down. So maybe we should just stay where we are, because we're on the same level, we're trying. But the person who has already climbed the mountain before, okay, where you come? Let's come this way. Step there, don't step there. That place is a bit slippery. Step this way. So that person has experience. He has learned what works, what doesn't work, and he will tell you what to do and what not to do. That's how you climb a mountain. So you have to learn from someone who has gone before. So my father says that I have two people that are my mentors. My father said one of them, and my wife's father said the other one. My father said this, if you want to go further, find someone who has gone farther. Now, those two words mean the same thing. Father and father mean the same thing, but you use them as a play on words to say, look, if I want to go further than where I am right now, I have to find someone who has gone farther than where I am. So I ask him questions, follow him, follow her, follow their example. That's why Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ, because Paul knew something that was critical there. And then my father-in-law, my father-in-law, Dr. Guy Wetzel, says it this way, says, find somebody whose everyday reality is your one-day dream. So if someone is doing this thing every day, that's their reality. That's what they do every single day. And it's my dream. I need to find that person so I can ask the person, okay, how does it work? What do you need to do? Once you understand how this works, it makes sense. Then you can find someone to follow, because those people then will be able to teach you how the ropes work. Like you were saying about the East now. In the East, these guys you will spend years learning from them. But what they will do for you that's critical is this. When they finished, it's part of their mentorship to say, okay, here is some money. I'm going to give to you.
Set you up.
To set you up. Now that's venture capitalism like you've never seen before in the world.
We started it before venture capitalists started. Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. So that's something that people should absolutely do, absolutely learn. Find a mentor who will teach you how things work. Because if you don't understand those things, you'll be on the same level as other people forever, and you guys will be struggling.
Fantastic. Bishop, you have said so much insight, and in fact, this episode we will go and watch it over and over and over and over again. I'm going to go into the comment section. There are a few comments I would really like for us to look at. And for those of us watching, if you have not already liked this page, go and like it. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube, go and subscribe to YouTube. If you have not shared it, don't learn these things alone. It will be wicked of you to learn this alone. Share it so your contacts can see it. Also, if you have a question for the bishop, I'm going to take 1-2 questions for the bishop. Put it in the comment section now while we take some of your comments. Carol Ballo says, by the way, she's a very good friend of Reverend Laurie.
Hi, Carol.
Yes. She says, people really don't understand about legacy building, whether church, leadership, business, etc. We are correct, bishops. People don't understand about this. We need to teach more about it. And somebody re-emphasize if you have a question, by the way, I'm waiting for your question. Godson says, if you want to go further, find someone who has gone farther than where you are. Yes, that's what the bishop said. So I'm taking more questions. Carol also says, mentorship is vital for rapid growth, regardless of the season.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the new title we have given you, the Bishop of the Nigerian Youth. Alex just re-emphasized it now. Okay, let me take this one. Rita Checker says, if you want to build tomorrow's church, you must engage today. What happens when the church, okay, let's say what happens when business or leaders fight the innovative young people? What do we do in such situation, Bishop?
Okay, that's a great question. I saw that question earlier on. I'm glad for that. When my father made that statement, that's exactly what was happening. Okay, the church was actually not looking at the youth. They were saying, okay, these people are youth, go away, push them aside. Not realizing that one day too, those people, whoever are in charge, are going to get old. So they were fighting them. And so one strategy we used back then, and this is both for business and for church or whatever it is you want to do, we said, okay, instead of coming to fight people directly, what you need to do then is you need to not fight them directly. Because if you're a young person, you don't have the resources to fight those who are already ahead of you. You don't have the resources to try and do what they're doing, okay? So what you need to do is try to do what they call outflanking, okay? Find ways in which things can work. Let me give you an example. In the old days, when there was war, two armies would come. One army would come like this, and one army would come like that, and they would just come and they would fight each other, fight until nobody was alive. Whoever was alive left was whoever was left standing was the winner. Now, if you don't have the resources to fight big things like that directly, you're going to lose. You're going to be in trouble, and you'll lose everything as a young person. Okay, so what you need to do then is you need to outflank. So outflanking meant you would come against, you would just start doing things correctly, start doing things right, but you come to one side. Then instead of coming against like that, you would go around the side, go around the other side. So if you saw Gladiator, it's like the army, they would send one army to the front, then they send another army to the side, then send another army to the other side. And so eventually, while the army was looking at the front ones, they would go around the other side, go around the other side, go around the other side, and they would eventually surround them. Even though they were smaller, they would win. The point I'm trying to make is this. Find things that will give you the advantage. Don't try to just fight people directly head to head. Find ways to show that what you are going to do is working. So this show, for example, let's go back to this show. This show may not necessarily be on TV because we don't have the resources to go and do everything everybody else is doing on TV. You don't have the resources to go on DSTV right now. However, we can find ways to get this to work. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. So it's already working. People are already seeing it. Now, what's happened is maybe those who watch it live today will watch. It might be 50, might be 100. But tomorrow, another 10 will watch. Next day, another 20 will watch. People will share. And before you know it, you have outflanked that whole TV audience because many people around Africa can watch this show. I can share this now, and someone in New Zealand can watch it. Whereas if I was just only on Delta television, only those who are in Delta states happen to be on when it
and who have TV and who have lights at that time.
We'll see it. And so just outflank, find ways to strengthen your advantage. That's what it means. So with business, the same thing with business, same thing with church, same thing whatever you do. Find ways to say, what is my advantage? And what ways can I use to use that?
All right,
anyway,
Bishop,
that's the way I look at it.
Thank you. There are so many questions popping up for you. I doubt if we'll be able to finish all of them today. So what I would advise is after now, if you could go to the Facebook comment section, the ones we can't take, you can just quickly respond to them. I'll tag you in most of the questions, but we'll take a few. Quick one, 1 minute answer. Bishop, how do you deal with the fear of failure?
Wow, Carol, you are just on my case today. How do I deal with the fear of failure? You have to just face it. And the truth is, yes, sometimes we will fail. Because the road to success has to have one or two failures on the way. There's nobody who has ever succeeded and become great and not fail once. So let me see. I remember I told people before, I started a business one time, 90-something anyway, started a magazine. And the magazine was great. But see, here's what happened, magazine. We had a TV show called The Bottom Line. So I said, okay, we can make a magazine as well too. So I was the designer, I was the article writer, I was the salesman, I was the one who was doing the pictures. I did every single thing. And so the magazine, the first edition came out. But by the time I did everything, I was so tired that there was no second edition, no third, no fourth, and the thing failed. Okay, my point is this. You need to try things out. Yes, things can fail, but you can also learn from those who have failed before. So now, if I want to try something again, I learn from my mistakes. I learn from other people's mistakes. They say a smart person learns from their mistake. A wise person learns from other people's mistakes. So I think
mistakes of others.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, when you want to try something new, there's the fear of failure. I have it all the time. I'm afraid it may or may not work. But what if it does? My father used to say the same thing. Say, what if it doesn't work? Say, yes, what if it does work and you didn't try it? So give it a shot. Learn what you can to minimize the chances of failure, but still try it. If you fail, no problem. Everybody has failed before. I've failed. My father has failed. People have failed. But here's what's going to happen. People are going to remember your successes more than your failures.
Yes, I failed too. I failed too. I failed too. Yes. Next question, Bishop. I'd like you to answer this in 1 minute. Bishop, how do you effectively handle all the many things you do? Reverend Laurie, Dausa Boys, BIU alumni, Mama, business, Bishop of the Youth. I know. How do you manage all of that?
Okay, for me, first thing is priority. Choose the one that's most important to you, and then focus your best strength on those things. Second thing is find people. So you got to find people. So, for example, the university, I've got good people there, people I trust, and they work to make sure the university works. For the business, I have to as well too. I find good people there. I train them, keep pushing them, and I just check to make sure what they're doing is correct. But you can't do everything by yourself. No man ever succeeds on their own. Everyone tells you that a self-made man, that person is a liar. Everybody has to have people to succeed.
Hello.
1 minute.
True. Fantastic. That's 1 minute. Thank you. One of the greatest problems today is that most mentee can find a good mentor. Most people you think are leaders are actually rulers. So let me tie that to this question. How do you determine which young stars are really worthy of mentoring and those simply looking for a handout? So there is two sides of the question now. There are mentors who are ready, but they don't even know if these mentees are ready. There are mentees who are saying some of the mentors are not leaders, they are rulers. How do we draw a balance?
Okay, well, I heard this one time, that people who are actually doing anything worth any time, I'm not sitting there looking for, okay, who can I mentor? Who can I mentor? Who can I mentor? People who are doing anything that's worth anything are just pushing. They're making things work. They're not looking at and say, okay, hey, come, let me mentor you. No, people who are doing anything worth it are working. They're busy. They are always looking for something. So for me, you got to find someone who is reachable that you can talk to. One of my mentors is Bishop Oyedepo, and he's always busy, but he has chosen to give me his time. And so what I do is whenever I go to him, I don't waste his time. I tell him this is what you told me to do last time, because the first thing he will do when he sees me, he says, okay, that thing I told you to do last time, how far? So I don't waste his time by forgetting what he told me to do. I will do it. When I'm prepared to meet him, I'm going to ask him. He's going to ask me questions. How far have I gone? When I get in front of him, how great I am. I say, okay, this is what you told me to do. I did it. Next question. Bishop, how do you do this? How do I do that? I don't waste time because he is busy. Same thing again. So yes, so people are not necessarily looking for people to be a mentor to. They're just doing their things and things are working well. So what you need to do then is find someone who's worthy of emulating, and then show them that you are really worth them investing into. How do you do that? When they tell you to try this thing, you try it, you work it out, come back and say this is what we did. Then you talk, show them that any advice they give you is actually working in your life. That gives them joy, because then it's okay, that's true. I told him to try this and he tried it and it's working. Next time he sees you, he'll say, okay, come. Let me spend time with you again, because he knows that if he gives you his time, you will do it. So that's the question that Carol was asking. How do you know who's really worth mentoring? Is those people that when you talk to them and say, let's try this way, they actually listen to you, they go and do what you say. The ones that are just there because they want to say, yes, he's my mentor. Those guys are just want to look for a name to hang their name next to. So that's my thought on that one is those who are looking for a handout, give them what you can and then tell them to go. But there are those who genuinely want to be better. Now, last question. I want you to
look at this part. Yeah, I want you to look at this part also. This look at the question on the screen, where most people you think are leaders are actually rulers. Mentees can't find good mentors. How do we handle that?
I think for that one again, everybody who's doing something that's worth following will give advice. They want to give advice, but they're not looking for anybody that says, please come. So if you find someone that says a ruler, then that person is your mentor. Find someone that is willing to share with you their thoughts and ideas. not everybody's going to be a mentor. Some people just need to just follow from afar and learn from them from afar. Some people need to just read their books. For example,
some might be tormentors.
Some are tormentors, exactly. Someone mentioned Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a good guy, but Steve Jobs was a very, very wicked person. Not wicked, but he was not necessarily a nice person. That kind of person, you can read his books, learn his style from far. Don't go ask him to be a mentor because he won't mentor you at all.
So true. Last question, Bishop, before we let you go. Last question, final one. When a church, because you're a bishop, we're going to ask this question. When a church doesn't provide a system that supports youth's involvement and development, as a youth, how do you work in such a system knowing it has been set up to marginalize you? I think if I got what you said correctly earlier, you talked about flanking.
Exactly.
Doing better to overcome what is already.
Right.
Yes.
Because if you start doing it correctly, one day they'll come and say, that's my son, that's my son, that's my son. But if you don't do it well, they won't say, that's my son. So even though they don't necessarily support you, start doing things right. Start asking questions. Start learning things properly. When you do things well, they will come back and say, hey, those are our sons, our children. Yes, come back.
Yes, we brought them up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it has been a very fantastic time with the bishop this evening. I don't know if you are in the comment section and this episode of Conversations with Segun today has not blessed you, then you are not saying the truth. Let me hear what you think about today's episode. Let me hear. I want to show Bishop what you think. Let's tell Bishop, thank you for taking out his time to come and talk to us today. Let him see it in the comment. If you want Bishop to come again, please put it in the comment section so that Bishop can see that we're all looking for him to come again. But that said, Bishop, sir, I want to say a very big thank you to you. I am truly honored to have you today. For me, it's not ordinary. I think God has planned all of this together for you to be here today to share the things that you have shared to help my audience and to help me as an individual. Thank you very much. Extend our love to Reverend Laurie and everyone at your end. But I'm going to show you the comment. Somebody says today's session was I'm coming just a minute. Okay. Somebody said it was the bomb. I'm trying to bring the comment. That's it there. It says it was a bomb. Okay. In fact, the comments are so much that I can't take them all. Carol says,
thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Bishop. Dino Rock says, very insightful. Somebody else says, today's episode is lit. And this man says, we should do this tomorrow. Get the Bishop back tomorrow. To get the Bishop back tomorrow, we should do this tomorrow.
We'll call anytime you let me know.
All right, Bishop. Thank you. Let me let you go to rest. The program was originally for 30 minutes, but we've talked so much that it's almost 1 hour now. People don't want.
Thank you very much. I had a great time. I had a great time. I didn't even know it was an hour.
Thank you.
God
bless you, sir. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, just about an hour. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We celebrate you. We'll always look forward to having you again. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Thanks.
All right. That has been Bishop Feb Idahosa right here. Today, we have officially crowned him the Bishop of the Nigerian youth. So when you see him, any day you see him again, please address him properly. He's not just the president of Benson Idahosa University, but he's also the Bishop of the Nigerian youth. And like he said, there's so much that he also doesn't even know that he's doing with the young people. A lot of young people are rallying around him, and that's what we actually need in Nigeria today. We need people who are going to point the direction for our young people correctly, not the ones we have now in quote, but people like him need to come together and point the next generation in the right direction. Like he said that the Archbishop said before he died, he said, if you want to prepare tomorrow's church, tomorrow's business, tomorrow's nation, invest in today's youth. As a father, as a mother, as an uncle, as an auntie, what are you doing? What are you giving back to young people today? I'm doing all of this, taking my time, putting all of this just so that we're able to plant something in our young people, channel them in the right direction. And I want to encourage everyone that has watched today, do the same. Do the same. In every way you are in, look for people, mentor them, talk to them, invest in them, and before you know it, we'll have a great nation. All right, I'm taking comments. Thank you, Segun. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you. Grace says, very insightful. Thank you, Bishop. Alex says, boom. Good. Who haven't I taken their comment? Andrew Lugbo says, today's episode was late. Barry says, awesome. Thank you, sir. Treasure says, loads of value and insight. Carol says, my two favorite men. Yay. Timothy says, many thanks, Bishop. Okay. Mr. Harriman Oyofo says, hello, Segun. Well done, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Daniel Ikporo says, I'm watching. Welcome. Where did you watch from? All right. I want to encourage every one of us again. Please do share this. Don't leave it. Don't leave it alone like this. Do share it with your friends and contact. Let them know that this is what we learned this evening. Till I come your way again next week, Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. Remember that in July, we have a long list of guests planned. Next week, we are having on Maumi Ogbe. She's my friend and sister, working with Larry Lushola Academy. She's doing so well in the city of Lagos. One of the most connected persons I know. And I'm bringing her here next week to talk about networking and how we can leverage on the network that we have to make it to the next level. That's one thing that we need. Not networking as in networking business. No, network as in using your network to take you to the next level. Don't miss it next week, Tuesday. I'll see you. Thank you for watching. If you're not already liked the page, please go and like the page. If you're not already subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please subscribe. And please share this. Let more people see it. Have a wonderful night. Harry Manuel says, thank you for the good work. Dennis says, amazing time with you. Thank you. Treasure says, well done, Segun. Great job, Segun. Thank you. Alex says, thank you, Segun. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night. I enjoyed doing this tonight. I hope you enjoyed your time too.